Hallo, wie schön, dass du reinhörst hier beim Podcast Wagemutig mit Impulsen, Insights und Interviews zu der Frage, wie du es schaffst, dir mutig ein Leben nach deinen Vorstellungen zu erschaffen, sodass du in der Rückschau sagen kannst, was eine geile Zeit. Mein Name ist Annika Seidenfaden und ich bin dein Business Coach, wenn du dich nicht mehr zufrieden geben willst mit etwas, das ganz okay ist oder mittelmäßig oder sicher, aber nicht wirklich und für dich ganz persönlich großartig ist. Hallo, so schön, dass du wieder reinhörst. Heute habe ich einen ganz besonderen Gast und zwar habe ich Kristen Sandquist zu Gast und die ist meine Business-Partnerin für die Magic Mountain Mission und diese unglaublich faszinierende Powerfrau war schon, sage und schreibe, 22 Mal auf dem Gipfel des Kilimandscharo, seit sie 2009 das allererste Mal überhaupt da war. Und damals ist sie da auch so ein bisschen hingekommen wie die Jungfrau zum Kinde und hatte nicht im geringsten eine Ahnung, was dieser Trip nach Tansania mit ihr machen würde. Und das wird sie gleich im Podcast erzählen. Und sie wird auch erzählen, wie sie mit ihrem Businesspartner Kevin zusammen die K2 Adventures Foundation gegründet hat, eine Charity-Organisation, die eben nicht nur in den USA, sondern auch in Tansania und in allen anderen Ländern und Orten dieser Welt, wo sie eben mit ihren Reisen aktiv sind, wie sie da auch Kindern und der Community vor Ort helfen. Also freu dich auf alle Fälle auf eine absolute Powerfrau, die einfach auf grandiose Art und Weise zeigt, was du alles schaffen und machen kannst, wenn du tatsächlich einfach nur willst. Insofern ganz viel Spaß mit dem Interview. Hi Kristen, I'm so glad to have you in my podcast. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Super excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. So, and those of you who've been listening to this podcast for a while know that Kristen and I met in 2019 when I climbed Kili the first time. And you also know that this was like an amazing experience for me, truly life-changing. But before we dig deeper into why Kilimandscharo, Tanzania, every adventure with K2 is amazing, maybe you just want to introduce yourself a little bit, tell us who you are, what K2 is all about, and how did you even get to Tanzania and climbing Kilimandscharo for, I think it's 21 times already. Yeah. So your stage, Kristen.
So here's a little bit about me. Thank you, Annika. First and most importantly, we're lucky enough that we built a beautiful friendship after our climb on Kilimanjaro. And now here I am having another incredible adventure with you and all of your friends. And I'm super excited about it. I started climbing only 12 years ago. And when I started climbing 12 years ago, it was because I was asked to guide a woman who was blind. And I had no idea what that meant, but I knew that I wanted to help this woman. And I knew that it would be important to help this woman. So I signed up. I got invested in guiding this woman and learning how to guide a person who was blind and work hard to guide this person who was blind and train. And I discovered all these different things about myself that I didn't know. I found out that, I actually do really like sleeping in a tent. I really do like being out in nature. And I really do like the experience of the mountains. And this is all new to me because I had at that time really never hiked a day in my life. I really had never been a big fitness person. I was just running a nonprofit organization, helping individuals, being kind and just doing nice things in the community. But I never thought that somebody asking me to be the eyes for another person was ever going to change my life the way that it did. And it was wonderful. So I became this woman's eyes on Kilimanjaro and I guided her to the summit. And after we went to the summit of Kilimanjaro and we stood there and celebrated both of our success, I came back to the United States and started really thinking about my nonprofit organization that I had been working so hard on in the United States, and decided that I needed to do more internationally. So I worked with my business partner, Kevin, and together we built this incredible nonprofit called K2 Adventures Foundation, where we knew that if we started working together, that we could make such an incredible difference, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And so what started out as just a small idea turned out 12 years later to be my future and my life. So here I am. 12 years later, I have now been on the summit of Kilimandscharo 21 times. I have taken over 2,000 individuals up to the summit of Kilimandscharo, but more importantly than even being an international mountain guide, more important than bringing people to the top of Kilimandscharo, we've brought people into this beautiful atmosphere of service. And with every single one of our climbs, people are allowed to do service where they can work at a partner school that we have become very close to, or a partner hospital, or what we have just recently completed, our very own orphanage. And we built from the ground up a freestanding orphanage the size of about 4,000 square feet. It sits on 2 acres of land. And we now have 10 beautiful children that live and reside at Summit Happy Home. And again, something that started as just this small idea of, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to guide a woman to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, literally changed my entire life. And here I am today running K2 Adventures Foundation, which is our charity. And we do about $1.5 million a year through our nonprofit. And all of that money is given back to individuals with disabilities and helping those that are less fortunate, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And of course, I'm the CEO and co-owner of K2 Adventure Travel, which is the travel company that's been hired to run this team.
I mean, that's that's really so incredible. What would you say, because you said 2 times, it only started out as a small idea, and I guess there are many people who maybe, I don't know, see a situation abroad or have this idea of starting their own company or starting also maybe social work, but then they are so overwhelmed by how should I start? How is this all going? What would you say is your magic trick that you just kept going and that you now built this amazing company and this amazing foundation?
So I'm fortunate enough to have a business partner that is outstanding. And he has become a very, very good friend as well as a business partner. He introduced me to the world of mountain climbing. He introduced me to third world countries. That was not something I was doing. I started out in the United States and I was working in the nonprofit world in the United States. So I never knew life outside of the US until I met Kevin. And when I met Kevin, he said to me, you need to come to Tanzania. You need to help and serve in Tanzania because it's going to change your life. And you hear somebody say that to you. And of course, in your head, you think, they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. My life is pretty good already. How is this going to change my life? Well, he was 100% accurate. It did change my life. He took me to Tanzania. We went into an orphanage in Tanzania, and all the kids in the orphanage were blind. And it was a very creative way of showing us, hey, not only are you helping a woman from the United States who's blind, but I'm going to show you what life in a third world country of an individual who's blind looks like. Mm-hmm. And it was a wow. It was a holy cow. look at what I just experienced. I walked in and saw these beautiful children that were sleeping on the floor, that some of them had, mattresses that were less than an inch thick, and they were filled with, urine and feces. They were treated just so different because of their blindness. Where in the United States, we're helping people that are blind. And in Africa, we're shunning the people that are blind because they truly don't know what to do with them. And they really believe that people that are blind in Tanzania are born with kind of a curse. So they don't help those individuals. So Kevin and I are looking at these children who are living in an orphanage. The orphanage is called the Mwerni Integrated School for the Blind and Disabled. And these kids are sleeping on the floor, maybe eating one meal a day. They're skinny and they're tired, and they're just not getting a great education because they're in a government school. And all of a sudden, your heart just says, I can't close my eyes. I can't not see this when I get home. And that's exactly what happened. So Kevin and I left that orphanage that day. We climbed Kilimandscharo. We had 100% success. We had 26 people stand on the summit. We stood up there proudly and were screaming and yelling and having a great time and laughing. And as we're coming down, Kevin and I are talking about, the magic of the Mwerni Integrated School. And we're talking about, wow, what do we do next? Like, how do we leave Tanzania 12 years ago, leave this school, leave this climb, and not continue to serve? And for both of us, we just said, you know what? Let's do something amazing. Let's try it, and let's just see if we can make it work. And we did. So 12 years ago, I shut down my nonprofit organization called Visions of Hope and merged it into K2 Adventures Foundation. Kevin shut down his guiding company at the time called KC Summits and merged it into K2 Adventure Travel. And within 3 months of coming home, Kevin and I had 2 incredible companies up and running. And it was truly, it was a gamble. I'm not going to lie and say, yeah, we knew hands down this was going to be successful. But I think when you go into something with the attitude of passion, love, commitment for others, I think that to be successful is pretty easy. And that's exactly what happened for Kevin and me. And here we are 12 years later, and we're running, like I said, $1.5 million through our nonprofit account. We've now taken those kids that were blind and disabled, and we've educated every single one of them. They all have their own beds. They all have their own mattresses. They all have 3 meals a day. They're living on a property that's absolutely spotless. They've got caregivers that love them and respect them, whether they're blind or not blind. And we've just kind of changed people's perception of people that are blind just by being kind. And then, of course, we built our own orphanage. So everybody kind of knew we were serious and said, oh, yeah, they're here to stay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is really something that makes this, made this trip that I did with you in 2019 so very special, because it's not just about the mountain. It's also about this, I've never done any social work before my adventure with K2, to be honest. And I mean, like you said, it's really like your heart is wide open even before you climb this mountain, and then being in nature, having this incredible experience makes it even more special. And it for me, it was also like a really, really life-changing experience. And what would you say, because I remember that when we climbed Kili, you said, or maybe it was Kevin who said it, the mountain, every time the mountain holds a message for you. what is this about? What like, can you explain to the people who are listening, what is this magic all about? Because I mean, you climbed Kili, like you said, 21, 22 times, and you go back every year, sometimes even several times, to climb Kili. So there must be something about this mountain. And I mean, I also want to go back, but that is also my personal experience. Like, what would you say is this magic all about?
It's the people. It's being in a country where there's just so much love around you.
Yeah.
And you step on that mountain and you've got these men that are there carrying your 40 pounds of gear on their head, and you've got them walking up the mountain in horrible shoes and not great gear, and ripped jackets, and they're walking past you. And the best ever is when you hear them say, "Good morning, how are you, Jambo, habari asabui," and you're laughing because you're thinking to yourself, here's these men that are making this experience magical. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're having fun, and they're making your trip fun. And I think that's the most important thing. What draws me back every year is that I get to see these men year after year after year. The same men that guided me, 12 years ago are the same men guiding me today. And they greet you at your tent in the morning at 6:30 with this great big smile, and they ask you, do you want coffee or tea? And they're bringing you coffee and tea at 6:30 in the morning in your tent, and you're waking up and you're drinking your coffee or your tea, and you're looking out at the beautiful sunrise, and you're just thinking, wow, it's another great day on Kilimandscharo. And you come out of your tent and you get all organized and you go into breakfast, and there's this unbelievable breakfast that they've prepared for you. And they're there to help you and get you fed and fueled for your day. And you hike for a few hours, and then they have this huge lunch all set up for you. And then again, you hike for a few hours, and then they have this incredible dinner all set up for you. And here you're hiking all day long, and they're hiking all day long, but yet they come into each one of the camps and they're still working. They're setting up our tents. They're getting all of the supplies ready. They're making our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they're still laughing and smiling and dancing and just having a great time. And we're going into our tent and changing into our brand new clothes and our gear and our awesome experience that we're having, because for us, it's a vacation. For them, it's a job. And every day that vacation just becomes this reality of this is their life every single day. And what makes it magical? It's the mountain in the background with the men in your foreground, and every day having that one goal, which is to be successful, get to your tent, have a great dinner, and the next day do it all over again. It just feels good.
Yeah. And I didn't know that you also didn't climb before you climbed Kili, because I mean, for me it was also the first time. Like, when I heard about this trip, I was like, okay, I need to do this. And I mean, I never climbed before. I didn't have any gear, and I'm so happy that I did it, because it fits a bit in what you just said. It's I think like I almost never felt so alive like I felt when I climbed Kili, because I think it's about the men, it's about this experience, it's about being in nature, it's about like not looking on your phone, not reading any email. So you're just with you, nature, this amazing group, like you experience a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's truly special. Yeah.
In the moment, you actually get to be present.
Yes.
How often do we get to just be present? And I think maybe that's why people ask all the time, why do you go back? And the reason I go back is because I truly love it. And every single team is different. Every single group is different. I get to meet new people and learn about new people, but you get to just enjoy that time with human nature and human kindness and the human spirit. And you're not looking at your phone. You're not worried about your emails. You're actually talking to people and learning who they are and finding out what their worlds are about. And you know, here I am, a girl from the United States having conversations now with a woman in Germany. You know, I never thought that I'd ever have a relationship with people in Germany. I'm having a ball. I still don't speak German, but I'm having a ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and you're right. I think it's really about being present. Like present with yourself, present with others, present with, and then also like being really humble because, or like it's because of the experience, because you know that maybe it takes so much less to be like happy, fulfilled, enjoy life, because you see it every day with these amazing men who help you. And we had one woman. I was really amazed about the woman who was on our team. She was also carrying all these big bags, and so that would be my next question. Like, because I mean, you have so many trainings, let's say, about leadership, about teams, and I mean, you are guiding these amazing teams of, I mean, what is it like? We had, I think, almost 100 people helping us, and we were, I think, 28 people. So I mean, that's a really huge group you are guiding every time on this mountain, and it's not like a walk in the park. So what is your, maybe you can tell us a bit about what do you think like makes a great team? How do you guide all these people? How can you, because my feeling was you are getting the best out of all these people when you guide them on this mountain. So how do you do this?
You know, I am naturally a very positive person.
Yeah,
and
that helps.
Yes, it does help. I do get mad. It's happened it has happened. I do get mad. I've had to let people go, but not typically. I mean, people that join our teams are all of the same mindset for the most part. You know, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Germany, doesn't matter where you are. People have the right mindset. And if the mindset is built on kindness, and knowing that, hey, we're going to be kind in the same breath that we're going to be safe, and we're going to be adventurous, yet we're going to be safe. And we're going to be spiritual, yet we're going to be safe. That is the most important thing. Our entire company is built on safety and making sure that our clients are 100% well-trained, making sure that they're taking the proper medication, making sure that they're eating properly, but not just our clients, our employees. So the men on the mountain work for us. They are part of our team, and they are treated exactly the way our clients are treated. Yeah. So we are not the typical company that's climbing Kilimandscharo. We are out there as owners of the company. Kevin and I are on these teams, and we're watching the way our men are being treated. We're watching the way our clients are being treated. We're there to make sure that we set the tone that you are a part of K2. And once you become part of the K2 family, you don't want to not be a part of the K2 family, because people wait for years to get onto our teams because we pay the most on the mountain. We have more guides to individual climbers than any other company on the mountain. We have all the top rated gear. We make sure our men are fed 3 meals a day, just like our clients are fed 3 meals a day. and they're strong and they feel great. We make sure our men have the proper gear so that if they are missing anything, it might not be, the top of the line North Face gear, but if they're needing a jacket, they'll make sure that we take care of them and they will have a jacket. If they need shoes, we make sure that we get them shoes. So when we're managing a team of 100+ guides, in addition to our 30 clients, it's all about making sure that they're taken care of and being treated well, just like our clients are being taken care of and treated well. The mountain, Kevin says it all the time. Kevin, my business partner, says the mountain is a great equalizer, because it doesn't matter if you're 20, it doesn't matter if you're 50, it doesn't matter if you're an athlete, it doesn't matter if you're not an athlete. The mountain is a great equalizer, and it's for all people. You become very humble on Kilimandscharo, because one day you feel fantastic. You are cruising along, you feel like $1 million, and the next day you wake up and you go, whoa, not feeling so well today. And you walk up to Kristen or Kevin and you say, hey, I'm not feeling great today. And, just like that, we've got, 5 different solutions to fix whatever it is that is causing you not to feel great. But it's also coming to terms with the fact that you're human. And hey, it's okay to not feel great today, and let us fix it, because tomorrow you're going to feel like $1 million again.
Yeah. It's really a lesson in leaving your ego behind, right? Because sometimes I think you think like, yeah, I'm super fit, I'm super athletic, whatever, and I can go faster. You're not allowed to go faster. We went really slow, right?
Yeah. And that's why you were successful.
Yeah.
We follow the rules, and that's the other thing, is we follow the rules. We don't do our own thing. We know how to climb Kili and how to climb it successfully and safely. And as long as you follow the rules and you go with what Kevin and I tell you, you'll be successful.
Yeah.
We don't worry about people not making it. We worry about people making sure that they have the experience that they wanted to have. Anybody could stand on the summit. Absolutely anybody could stand on the summit of Kilimandscharo. That's not the issue. The issue is, when you're done standing on the top of Kilimandscharo, did you have an amazing experience? When you leave, do you get to go home and say, that was the greatest thing I've ever done? And that, to me, is what's important. I don't care if you stand on the summit of Kilimandscharo. That's great. If you stand up there, great. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Congratulations, you made it. But if you come down and you say to me, that was the worst experience of my life, I did something wrong.
Yeah.
If you come down and you say to me, that was the best experience of my life, I did something right.
And there's also another lesson included. This was like when you said, like, it's not about getting to the summit, it's about like the journey. And I really remember that in the beginning I said, like, no, it's not about the journey. I want to go to the summit. And I think I'm not the only one. Mm-hmm. And I can really remember, I think it was on the 3rd or on the 4th day, I thought, like, okay, it doesn't really matter anymore if I'm going to the summit, because this experience is really so amazing, and I'm so happy that I'm here and that I get to know all these amazing people. So it wasn't that important anymore. Mm-hmm. And I never thought that would happen to me. So I think that's also really an incredible life lesson, right? Because if we could enjoy our journey more, instead of like aiming for the next goal, maybe life would be a bit better or more fun, at least.
I agree.
Yeah.
I will promise you this: you will laugh and you will smile every single day of your trip. Not because it's forced, it just happens. It's a magical place. I don't know how to describe it in any other word other than magical.
Yeah. That's why it's called the Magic Mountain Mission, my program, like our program together, because it's magic. So like in the end, my last question would be, was there any like really super special experience, anything, maybe something really funny, or like, I know people got married last year, right? On the summit.
We did, but we had a couple that came with us in October of last year, and they got engaged. Well, then they decided that they were going to come back 8 months later, climb again, and get married. And they did. They are happily married. They're actually coming back again next year, and they're bringing a group of people to share their journey with them. But they are absolutely 100%. They were coming out originally to get engaged, and that was it. Well, then they were coming out to get married, and that was it. And now they're coming back again, and they're bringing a group of people. So a great experience, a great example of people that it changed their life. Again.
Yeah. So, by the way, do you have many people who come back?
Oh my gosh, our repeat business on Kilimandscharo is probably 40%.
Yeah,
it's very, very high. We have people that have done it 9 or 10 times with us. One of my assistant guides, her name is Kelly Wesky, which you know very well. Kelly came to climb Kili with me 10 years ago, said, I'm going to do it once. I'm excited to do it once. I'm never going to do it after that. She has now been on the summit 14 times.
Yeah.
So, you just never know what's going to happen or how your life is going to change. And it just becomes a part of you. I live in Tanzania all of June and July. So I relocate. I move there from the United States, and I completely relocate. And I live there every single month for the last 12 years, for 2 months out of the year. I find Tanzania to be my home. And I never thought 12 years ago when I left that I would be saying to people, yeah, I live in Tanzania 20% of the year.
I also thought it's a once in a lifetime experience.
And now you were never going back.
Turns out to be something different, at least. Yeah, and I can still remember that when I told people that I want to climb Kili again, that they said like, no, why? You climbed it once. That's enough. That's crazy enough. And I thought, no, that's just the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could be right there with me 21 more times, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I'm still young. So maybe, what was the oldest person who climbed Kili?
85.
Wow.
With us.
Wow.
Yeah. 85 was the oldest person we've ever brought, and 9 years old was the youngest.
And that's not an issue with altitude for young people and old people. So it's okay.
Nope. If you're going to have an issue with altitude, you're going to have an issue with altitude. And we have a remedy for all of that. It doesn't matter what your age is. Doesn't matter what your ability level is. If you're going to have an issue with altitude, you're going to have an issue with altitude. And it's just something that we have to just address while we're on the mountain. And it's easy enough to fix. And we know exactly what to do in order to make sure that people don't have issues with altitude. And that's what we're trained for.
Yeah, I think that was also something that made it really special for me, that I felt incredibly safe. So it's like a really safe, comfortable environment you are creating for having this amazing experience and really enjoying this adventure. So yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, for telling us about this incredible experience of climbing Kili and about your amazing work in Tanzania. And it's not just Tanzania, right? You are also doing this work in Nepal and other countries.
We are. We work in Peru, we work in Nepal, we work in Africa, and we work in the United States. So those are our 4 big places right now.
Yeah.
Nothing in Germany yet. We have to figure a Germany trip out.
Yeah. Maybe we can create something together.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So I will definitely put all of this in the show notes. So if someone is interested in helping you looking up what you're doing exactly in all these countries, then they can read it in the show notes. So thank you very much, Kristen, for being here. And I'm really looking forward to our adventure next year.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you, Annika.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I look forward to seeing you soon.
So, meine Liebe, ich hoffe, du hast dieses Interview genauso genossen wie ich und hast gespürt, welche Begeisterung und welche Freude und welche Mission in Kristen brennt. Und ja, wenn du mir schon ein bisschen folgst, weißt du ja, dass dieser Trip zum Kilimandscharo für mich damals auch wirklich einfach wirklich life-changing war. Und ich sage das sonst nicht so oft, weil ja, es soll ja nicht inflationär benutzt werden, aber diese Reise war in der Tat wirklich life-changing für mich auf so vielen Ebenen und ich habe so viel gelernt und ich habe so viel erfahren über mich und erlebt, was ich überhaupt nicht erwartet hätte, weil ich gedacht habe, ja, ich besteige halt einen Berg, aber es ist eben so viel mehr als das. Im Endeffekt ist es eine Reise zu dir selber und wer du bist, wofür du stehst. Und du spürst mal wieder so mit jeder Faser, was dich eigentlich ausmacht und was da alles noch gelebt werden will von dir. Wenn dich das genauso fasziniert und wenn dich das gerade ein bisschen ruft und wenn du diese Begeisterung und Freude und diese pure Lebensenergie spürst, dann schreib mir einfach eine Nachricht oder melde dich über die Webseite an. Da kannst du dich eintragen in das Kontaktformular. Und ich freue mich ganz doll von dir zu hören. Und wer weiß, vielleicht stehen wir ja nächstes Jahr dann gemeinsam im Sommer 2022 auf dem Gipfel des Kilimandscharo mit Tränen des Glücks in den Augen. Ich würde mich auf alle Fälle sehr freuen. Bis dann.